Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, I got a fantastic show coming today. Tell you, two great friends of mine. I mean, just totally positive, motivators, energetic, and they are so well put together and teaching the training of mindset. And also, these guys are phenomenal musicians. I love their music and just excited to have these two guys on the show today. And I tell you, we're going to talk to them in a few minutes and we're going to have fun for the next hour or so. But before I even do that, I have to bring my fantastic co-host, Michelle Cooley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You're so excited, so I'm glad. This is going to be an exciting show. These two gentlemen, they've done a lot to help others and regarding the power of mindset training and incorporating music in it. So a lot of people don't know what mindset training is. I never knew what mindset training was until I read up on it and then you explained it to me in detail. And I did some research. So we're definitely going to have a very interesting show today. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, we're gonna have an interesting show. These guys work with some of the top athletes uh, in the NBA and the NFL, just sports, but not just athletes. They teach everyone how to get your mind right, get your body right, get yourself mentally prepared for the ultimate performance of whatever that you might be doing. So I am so excited about these two guys. And I tell you what, whichever platform you're watching this on, whether you're watching it on E360 TV, if you're watching it on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or the other 16 live streaming platforms, if you want to be part of a great conversation with these two great men, all you have to do is just go to the comments. Make sure you authorize StreamYard to show your Facebook picture, and you can ask these two great guys any questions that you want to, and you can join in on the conversation as well. So I look forward to everybody participating. Michelle, let's get this thing started. First of all, the title of the show, the purpose, and I want you to read both bios of both of these guys because I'm gonna bring both of them on at the same time.
Yes. So the title of today's show is The Power of Mindset Training and Music. And the purpose is getting to know co-founder of MaxConscious, mental performance coach, keynote speaker, podcast host, and author Grant Parr, and also getting to know the co-founder of MaxConscious, one of the world's leading mental performance coaches and author Graham Betchert. And we're going to talk about what is mindset training and its power along with music, and what is MaxConscious and its ultimate mission and goal, and discuss what is MC4 Framework and how it can be utilized in life situations. So let's talk about these wonderful gentlemen who are going to be on the show today. Grant Parr. Grant Parr is the co-founder of MaxConscious and a highly regarded mental performance coach, keynote speaker, podcast host, and author whose clients are Olympians, Olympic coaches, professional athletes, collegiate athletes, teams, business executives, and Fortune 500, 1,000 sales organizations. Parr is the author of The Next One Up Mindset, How to Prepare for the Unknown, which is becoming highly regarded as a must-read within the athletic and workplace domains. Grant has taken his unique experiences as an athlete, coach, and sales leader to create the 90% Mental podcast that provides a window into a broad range of athletes and coaches' mental game, where they share their insights into their journeys around mental performance. Graham Betchert is one of the world's leading mental performance coaches. He has worked with some of the NBA's best athletes, including Aaron Gordon, Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns, and Andrew Wiggins, to name a few, and professional organizations such as True Ventures, Silicon Valley Bank, and the Utah Jazz. He is the co-founder of MaxConscious, a mental skills and music training company that designs training programs and online courses to help entrepreneurs and working professionals take their mental game to the next level. He's also the author of Play Present, a mental skills training program for basketball players. His mission is to bring mental training to the masses so that anyone, not just professional athletes and CEOs, can learn to perform better and experience more joy in the process. The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, E360 TV, and other live streaming platforms presents Grant Parr and Graham Betcher to the show.
Hey, welcome to the show, fellas. Welcome to the show, man. It's been a while. So
Absolutely.
man, welcome.
Having us, Michelle. Great to see you, Dr. JC. Thanks for having us again. I'm fired up. I was waiting to come on, man. I'm pumped.
Man, I'm fired up. And before we even get started, man, I want everybody to know a little bit about, and we're gonna talk about that one later. Magic with the math. So
I'm magic with the math. I breathe and be. I don't run to results, cause this I see. I'm potent in the present, it's where I be. Cause everything that counts, you cannot see. Think about this. How many times have you anxiously ran to results, worried about the math? Only at the end of your performance to discover that did not help you get great results. You ever go through that experience? I have. And I had to learn the counter to anxiously running to results, to being so concerned with math that you get paralyzed. The counter is magic. The counter is going in and being magic with the math, completely letting go of all numerical ways of assessing your greatness and turning inside and judging yourself on your willingness to trust, have faith, and show up regardless of the math.
hey, I just wanted to give our audience just a little taste of that right now. Oh man, I love that song. And yes, audience, I will play some more of it. I promise. Hey, both of you guys been on the show before. And both of you guys are absolutely fantastic. And you guys show, because I'm a big time fan, and I watch it and I learn a whole lot. I always learn something different. What I'm excited about is when I watch you guys show, the excitement and the enthusiasm that you guys put in it. It's just, you guys are excited about making somebody else happy, teaching them. We'll start with you, Grant. How did you and Graham get started with this and come up with the idea of the podcast that you guys do? Because I think it's fantastic.
Well, it's interesting because all of this spawned out of the pandemic. When there's a lot of pause going on in the world, Graham and I just got together and spent a lot of time during the pandemic writing music, kind of getting reconnected with a different purpose in our life. And so as we started to incorporate this music with mental skills training, we decided, hey, let's make a company out of it. And then as we made this company, we started impacting all these people with this training. We're like, why don't we just have a show every Friday? Yeah. And not only share our energy, share our stories, but to share with everyone our framework. So it's MC4 Framework. So there's 4 principles that we teach through our music, through our training. So we always bring up a pressure point every Friday, and then we discuss on our show this pressure point and how the MC4 Framework can help people with it.
So Graham, so you guys are doing this. What are some of the key points when you guys write music and you also teaching and training, that you write a song based on one of the teachings? Because I watched a lot of your stuff. Tell our listener a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we, like Grant said, the last couple of years, I mean, we have been so invested with each other, fully dedicated to making this music, collaborating, doing it. And we found a really, I don't know if it's unique, but we found our creative process. And we figured out that, like, say we have an idea like magic with the math, right? Which is an idea that, okay, everyone is anxiously running to results, and oftentimes they forget the process, right? They forget we call that the magic, right? Your process, like you can't forget steps. So we start with that concept, and then we play around with beats. You know, Grant will start sending me some sounds that he's feeling, and we start to get a sound. We like the sound, and then we start playing the sound, and then we start talking. And this is where we open up. And that hook that came through, you know, I'm magic with the math, I breathe and be, I don't run to results because this I see. That came through us. And as we were hearing it, we just try to get it. We try to record it in the moment. And then we get the little hook, and then we build around the hook. And the idea with the hook being so powerful is people can remember the hooks. Dr. JC, they can remember it. Like you don't even know hooks, and a song will pop up, and all of a sudden you might know a Beatles hook. And you're like, I don't even listen to the Beatles, but yet you have heard it over time and you'll remember the hook. So we're just trying to teach through those hooks. We're trying to have it be so catchy that it sticks. It's called dual encoding. And dual encoding is when you learn with melody, your brain has twice as much a chance to retain it and learn it. So our process is we have a concept, then we let the hook come through us, and then we try to get the hook out, and we struggle through, then it comes together, and then we build around that, and we put coaching around that. But our emphasis is this repetitive thing with a melody called a hook, and we put it with something potent, something involved in mental training. So we're just using concepts. Music has always been used. We're like, why not just put mental training through the music? You know, and then without even knowing it, you might be singing the hook and you're getting the teaching. Right. You're like, hey, you know, I need to be magic with the math. I need to focus on my presence, not some anxious result in the future. If I focus on my presence, I'll get a much better result. You know, so that's kind of how it rolls through us.
Wow, you know, and you're absolutely right, because magic with the math. The first time that I listened to it, I mean, Grant had just sent it to me. I picked up the phone and called him singing the song. I mean, less than a minute later, you know, and I understood exactly what you guys was talking about in the song. And when I let people listen to it, I explained to them based on my concept. But what you just said, Graham, it was exactly, you can't be missing all these steps because you rush into the result. You're going to miss something. I mean, it's going to be somewhere where you're going to need 3 through 8 or 3 through 9. You know, right. So Grant, did you always want to be an entrepreneur? I know you have done a whole lot of things and in doing this, but I know that you guys got this company, and plus you guys doing a whole lot of things. Was that always the plan for you?
You know, it's really interesting. To be honest with you, I don't know, to tell you the truth. I just, as a young kid, I remember starting off anytime there was a readathon, bookathon, selling chocolate cookies to, you know, for elementary school. I remember I was so competitive. And so being an entrepreneur, I think it's for me, it's just more than being an entrepreneur. It's just part of my DNA to serve and to compete and have fun with it. So I love being an entrepreneur, but as far as did I always think, I don't know. I think as a kid, I've always been kind of that entrepreneur. Since I was like, you know, beating people at, you know, registering people for the bookathon, you know, so it's been a part of my DNA since I was a little kid.
What about you? What about you, Graham?
You know, I never really thought of myself as an entrepreneur. I thought, you know, I was always like, let me just get a steady job. And as I kind of went into this mental training space, I never really could get a job. And so it's almost like my heart just started saying, well, create it yourself. And I started to tap into and I felt really creative. And so I just started building. Like I wrote my first book. I was just hoping to get a job, didn't get a job. And my first book turned into an app, you know, so it just kind of like happened where it became this entrepreneurial thing. And now I feel totally locked into it. I feel super creative. We're building MaxConscious. I love it. I love building this company. I love trying to see it be successful. James, I like to do things with a group. So the thing that really gets me going is to be a part of a team. And what I like about being entrepreneurial is you got to do it with other people. And I tell Grant this every day. I love working with Grant. Like I wouldn't be doing this if he wasn't here. I don't want to do this by myself. I want to do it with a team. So I always felt this individual pressure to be this individual guy. But what I really wanted was to always be a part of a team and a group. So I think that makes me like a team builder in the entrepreneurial space. And I love it. I really do.
Wow. You know, we're going to take a station break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about both you guys as mental performance coaches. We're going to delve really deep in a lot of things that you all are doing and just continue to have fun. So if you want to be part of this great conversation, just like I mentioned to you in the beginning, go to the comments, StreamYard, authorize them to show your Facebook or picture, and just ask these two great men any questions you want to. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The magic is in the math.
I'm magic with the math. I breathe and be. I don't run to results, cause this I see. I'm potent in the present, is where I be. Cause everything that counts, you cannot see. I'm magic with the math. I breathe and be. I don't run to results, cause this I see. I'm potent in the present, is where I be. Cause everything that counts, you cannot see. You cannot see. I'm magic with the math. I breathe and be. I'm magic with the math. I breathe and be.
My program is built on the 4 C's. And the 4 C's are create. Create. Create is the thoughts that we have. Each and every last one of us have these thoughts, these ideas, these dreams. We have these things every day. A lot of times when we get these thoughts, we don't want to do anything but lay down and go back to sleep or whatever that might be, and we wake up and the thoughts are gone. I believe that a high spirit is always telling us something every single day. Every single day. So create the ideals that you get, that you think about, that you dream of. You say, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, already having fun. But now these two young men are ready to teach us what mental performance to the highest level and how you can attain that. Both of these guys are great coaches, been doing it for a while. And just like I mentioned earlier, they have worked with some of the best athletes in the world and continue to do that. And, focus is key in anything that you do. I mean, you might have all the talent in the world, but if you're not focused, if your mind is not right, you're not going to perform at the highest level. So let's start with you, Graham. So both of you guys are mental performance coaches. How and why did you decide to pursue that field?
Yeah, well, this is, when I was 19 years old in 1997, my first year of college basketball, I was going through a rough time. I felt super anxious, super lost. My focus was all over the place. My confidence was down. My anxiety was up. I felt kind of depressed, low. So I thought, why not reach out for help? I can't keep pushing through. I was trying to push through and just smile through it. And I was like, no, something's going on. So I reached out to my mom, and she introduced me to someone who kind of was like my first counselor. I didn't even know what the present moment was. And she said, Graham, you got to be present. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know the present was a thing. So right away, she was drawing my focus into the here and now. And that almost helped me immediately. And then we started working on affirmations. I love myself unconditionally. I started to learn the power of your thought, right? The power of positive self-talk. And I learned to meditate a little bit. She taught me to breathe. And so as I learned these skills, something really profound happened. She said, you have to practice this every day. And my athletic mind knew what that meant. I knew about practice. I knew about struggling with something, but staying with it. So as she introduced this stuff to me, I realized, oh, these are skills. This mental stuff, this is a skill set. But unfortunately, I wasn't aware of it before 19. And then I looked around the world and realized there's like nobody's really doing this work. So my heart started to open up that this was my calling, that my calling was to get this to people. And then a few years later, in the early 2000s, I heard the word sports psychology from a good friend of mine. And he said, do you know what that is? And I said, no, but I knew right away that was what I was supposed to do. And so I went into sports psychology and took all this stuff that I learned, and I was going to work it with athletes, because my heart was like, if athletes are doing this, the rest of the people in the world will say, okay, if they're doing it, why don't I try it too? You know, so that's how I started off on my mission.
And what about you, Grant? I know you was a football player,
Right.
and I know you and I had talked a while back. You kind of attained an injury, and that kind of shifted your mind shift. And can you tell us a little bit about that and how you decided on this career field as well?
Yeah, you know, I played football for 13 years. I was a quarterback, had a career-ending injury to my left hip, and I'll spare you all the details with the 2 decades that I dealt with that injury. But I had 2 hip replacements before I was 40. And after my second hip replacement, I started to look at life differently, and I wanted more out of it. I wanted to find my purpose. And as I was in this discovery mode for about a year and a half, I was really just being open to all things in health and sports and music, even the wine industry, because I enjoy drinking wine. And there was a moment between my sales calls where I was listening to Desmond Howard on a ESPN show, and he was talking about a sports psychologist. And I was like, what is that? And since I was in a discovery mode, I went home and I did a search, and I realized that there is a field and there is sports psychologists. And so I did a lot of research in a very short amount of time. And within 2 months of that moment, I was enrolled at JFK University in the sports psychology master's program. And when I started to get into my education, my goal was to only help athletes that were injured or athletes transitioning out of sport due to an injury. But as I started to learn more about the field, there was so much more than that. I do specialize in that, but there's so much more. And then after a semester or so, I met Grant Betchart, and I saw this dude show me, but everybody else, how to do it. And I was like, that's it. Like, I knew I wanted to do this work. I wanted to impact people and transform people. But his energy, the way he said it, how he said it, I was like, okay, that's what it's going to look like. And so him and I have just been great friends since. And what an honor to actually have a company write music with your mentor, you know? So that's how my journey has led me up to this very moment.
Wow. You know, so you guys have been knowing each other for quite some time, you know, so. Okay, the title of the show is The Power of Mindset Training and Music. First of all, can you tell our listeners and viewers, what is mindset training and what is its purpose?
Well, I'll take it, Grant. I'll get it going, man. I just got to say this too. When Grant said I'm his mentor, he's also my mentor. So let's be really clear about that. It's a two-way street. I learn from Grant every single day. It's profound how much he's helped my life. Mindset music to us was, we just started thinking like the power of music is so much, right? It opens your heart up. You start to feel emotions. Think about when you watch a movie. How do you know a scene is scary or exciting? It's the music. If you mute a movie or mute something, it takes away all the emotion. So sound is so powerful. And we learn with sound, if you can remember, way back when you were in kindergarten or preschool, everything was singing songs. We were singing songs all the time. I remember singing songs all the time in grammar school. And then it starts to go away. Then it becomes more memorization. It becomes more stale, if you will. And so we are just trying to tap into this familiar way of learning through rhythm. through flow, through beat, through melody. And we're just taking all the mindset stuff we've learned through sports psychology and all this stuff and trying to put it into simple packages, little 3-minute song, a 4-minute song. Because when you listen to a song for 3 minutes and you're hearing all these words with the melody, this stuff is going to stick with you. And if you're able to listen to that song 10, 20, 30, 40 times, whoo, you might know it for life. So we both felt called to music. I played the viola when I was young. I played piano. So I have a musical background. A lot of my friends were making music. And then once COVID hit, me and Grant were like, let's lock in. And let's lock in. Let's go to the studio every day, AKA my garage. He would come over and we would make music and just make music and make music. And our hearts would be so open doing it. And we would think to ourselves, why we have to do this? It's calling us so strongly. And we felt like we were getting better and better at it. You know, like when you first start, a lot of people knew me as a mental coach. I'd built a certain brand, certain name. And they were like, Graham, what are you doing? Like, you're not good at music. And in those moments, I would tell Grant, hey, Grant, this is greatness right here. Because if we're willing to go through this process of literally magic with the math, if we go through every step, we will get better at music. We will get better at music. And here we are years and years later, and we feel like we're getting better at it. You know, so we're living the concepts we're teaching. This is not like we're not living it. We have to go through it. And for me, making mindset music was a new challenge for me. I'd built high level of mental training, and I was like, in music, I have nothing. So I get to start from scratch again and build it up. And I crave that. I crave that, you know?
I love the concept of how you just explained that. Because and you're right, people are going to tell us that we're not good at this, we're not good at that, and all that. But it's the mindset. If we just let that come in our ear and just get in our heads, we're never going to be able to get better or do things better. And so thanks for sharing that. I want to talk about this great company that you guys got, you know, MaxConscious. I want to know what that is. Our viewers want to know what it is. Let's start with you, Grant, first. Tell us exactly what that is.
Essentially, it is a company that we provide mental skills training and music, but the core purpose is to elevate and raise consciousness. We feel that throughout the world, not just the United States, not in the state of California, the world, we're lacking consciousness. And it is a word that we hear a lot. There's a lot of people that don't understand really what that means. So with this training, with Graham and I and our team behind us, we're creating this program and programs and the music to elevate consciousness, to get people to get more empowered and to teach themselves not to react to life, but to respond. So this company, MaxConscious, is more about just mental skills and music training, where it's more global. We have a global purpose of affecting the world, not just an individual.
Wow. What is your thoughts, Graham?
Yeah, I mean, he hit it right on the head. I mean, we came up with a system of training, and this is the last 7 months we designed it. We call it the VAST system. And what makes MaxConscious unique is, you know, we train with videos and audios, but we make a song for every concept. So we have 16 principles that we take people through. And Grant and I just finished a 16-song album. So there's a song that goes with each principle. So let's say you're learning a new concept like magic with the math. You're learning about, hey, don't anxiously run to results, focus on the magic. Now you have a song to accompany you with that, to get that repetition and to start training your mind. You remember the great coaches you've had in your life. They say stuff over and over and over again, right? That's how we get coached. It's not like you say it one time and then we got it. It's about those reps. So with MaxConscious, what we've done is design something to incorporate music, like Grant said, to maximize consciousness. And another word for consciousness is awareness, right? To help you become aware. Like, for example, I was so focused on results and stuff, I didn't even know about the present moment. I didn't know that was a thing. Then I became aware that the present moment's a thing and realized, okay, we got to help other people learn to be present, learn to live in this present and do that. So we built MaxConscious around that. And we do have a goal to empower everyone around the world. We want to influence schools and business We have another concept called the bottom line. Most people focus on the bottom line, right? It's all just money. That's ultimately what they go to. And we go to the bottom line, which is human beings. Let's take care of humans. Let's empower humans. And then your bottom line is way better.
Why don't you hold that thought? Hold that thought. We're going to take a station break. We're going to come back. I want to pick it up with the bottom line. I am curious to hear about that one. So I tell you, we're going to take a station break. We're going to come back and pick it up again with Graham and Grant. It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We'll see you shortly after the break.
This is how you unlock greatness. This is how you bring out your best. Be magic with the math. See, everyone is anxiously worried about the numbers. They don't get it. I know you understand what I'm talking about. And even if you hear math calling you and everyone trying to measure you with what they can count, remember this. Not everything that can be counted counts. And not everything that counts can be counted. So we are talking about a different dimension that math can't get to, but you know when you're there. This is the dimension that when you check your results and stats after you perform, the math blows you away because you never knew you could do that well. And it's because you completely surrendered, completely submitted to the Most High, the most powerful, the magic within. And this is only magic until you realize this is a process. This is the mechanics of greatness. It's up to you to put power into it, to put energy into it. This is not something that you cannot grasp. This is right there for you. So be magic with the math. Surrender to greatness.
Hello. Hey, I'm James Cooley. I am the founder and CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, Options, Opportunities, Lasting Choice Program. Our primary mission is to help build a foundation of our youth and young adults and communities. And we encourage everyone to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. And the way that you do that is, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are here for a purpose. You also have to be able to step out your comfort zone and do things that you probably didn't think that you can do. Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James, J.C. Cooley, having fun, learning a lot. Just like I mentioned to you earlier, these two young men, you can see the excitement when they're talking about their company. I'm talking about the things that they love, that they enjoy doing. When you love something and you enjoy doing it, the emotions just come out, and you a lot of times we don't even know it. It just comes out there. I mean, it just shows. And that's what I love about these two young men. They love what they're doing, and they do it extremely well. So, Graham, I think we were talking about bottom up.
You know, the bottom line, that is your love. That is the energy. What if I was doing everything just for the bottom line and I had no love coming through me, no energy coming through me? It's like life is not there. You've let life leave your body. So what kind of life do we have if we're not tapped into our full energies? And I looked at it, I was like, that's no life for me. So I'm going to have to live the bottom line. And what we want to do is we want to help businesses know how to do that. We know companies that are conscious outperform unconscious companies on every level. And what we found with the conscious companies is they know the bottom line, meaning purpose, joy, love, freedom, right? All these things that power human beings. When you start to address that, it's amazing what happens. There's this secret thing that a lot of leaders do or CEOs do that sabotages everything, is they might pretend to want to be about humans, but at the end they go, yeah, bottom line. What's the bottom line? They kind of freak out in that space, and it sabotages everything. And what we want to do is be influential on the bottom line, because what we found is that actually powers the bottom line. So if you care about the bottom line, which is totally cool, we love results, focus on the bottom line. So we say 2 parts bottom line, 1 part bottom line. And if you think about that, then you can build tall. If you're all just bottom line, eventually you'll go up and you're going to crash. When you have that solid foundation of human development and caring about humans, their bottom line, and it's 2 parts that and 1 part bottom line, you will never stop. And you can have infinite wealth, but you have to track the bottom line. And so we focus on that. That's our 11th principle out of our 16. Bottom line is right there. And we say bottom because we're like, hey, what's more important than that? Can you find anything more important than love and energy and bringing that out? We haven't found anything more valuable than that in life. So
wow.
we go, the bottom line isn't cool. Yeah. Love the bottom line. Just like with athletes, I love it when they get great results, but I want you to know where the results come from. That's what counts, because then you focus on that.
Wow. So this training, I know you guys mentioned primarily athletes, but the ordinary folk like me or others, can this training help them out? What type of problems can it help solve? That's you, Grant. Grant.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about our program, yes, we work with companies, teams, anything that's related to performance. The thing is, what does it solve? It solves how to get in the present moment. We are so distracted in the world that we live in today that it's very easy for us to get distracted. So we're teaching people how to get back into the present moment so they can be conscious. And when you're actually conscious and you're in the present moment, you cannot be stopped. You're not stopping yourself because you're in the present moment. That's where the magic happens, is in the present moment. So like Graham said, companies that are conscious versus companies that are not, there's research to it. So that abodes to the people that are conscious. So we're trying to promote solving the problem of being present, getting people into the here and now. And that's where the magic lies. That's where greatness lives.
And,
right.
Your thoughts, Graham?
Well, I was going to say, when we think about our first principle is focus, and we call it what's important now. And it's what's in your control. And what we've noticed with a lot of people is, look, everyone's focused. It just may not be on the right thing, but you're always focused on something. And like Grant was saying, we've noticed a lot of people are always anxiously worried that their focus is on the future, or maybe it's way in the past, replaying the same loop you've been in for years and years. Maybe your family's been in the same kind of trap for years. So we try to draw people into the present moment and help them start to land in the present, stand in the present, and then expand in the present. But you got to be willing to show up here. And what we found, this is for everybody. I did this with athletes, and I've done it with the U.S. Navy. I've done it with Fortune 100 companies. And what I found is this is for human beings. You don't have to be born with this stuff, but you do have to practice. That's real, right? And once you start to practice, this works for everybody. Me and Grant are doing this stuff every day. I'm considered some like mental coach who's really good. And I'm just practicing this stuff every day like everyone else. And maybe what I'm good at is I practice the skills every day. I'm devoted to it because it's an everyday practice. This isn't like a quick fix or winning the lottery. This is, once you're aware, hey, I'm going to do it every day. Why not practice this every day? That's how we get better at being present. Practice being present. When should we practice being present? Right now. Right? It's all right now. Practice being here. And if you think about it, it's always right now. When tomorrow shows up, guess what it is? Now. You know what I mean? So this idea of the future, if you're concerned about the future, really invest in the present. And so we really try to teach that as our foundational skill, because if you're not playing present, you're playing yourself, right? So we start with that consciousness. If you're not here, not focused on the task at hand, you're lost, you know? So yeah, we try to help people with that. And then we build on those skills with what we call next play speed. And that means if you lose your focus, can you bounce back? Because it's human to lose your focus, but it's awesome to bounce back. And so we try to help people work on that stuff.
Wow. You know, I like what you just said, because in training, when I teach, when I'm speaking, you know, you have to always be in the present, like you said. Yeah. But a lot of this time of being in the present means that you have to remember what happened yesterday. Yeah. Don't live it. I mean, remember what happened yesterday, but don't go back to yesterday. You have to be present today and doing things today in order to be better for tomorrow if you're around. You know, so live yesterday. I mean, remember yesterday, but don't live it. Live today, but be prepared for tomorrow, mentally, physically, emotionally. You know, so I know that it's a lot of mindset trainers, coaches out there. What makes you guys different than what they're teaching and what their plans are? Grant.
Well, I think the difference, when you think about it, there's a lot of people out there doing similar stuff. What's really different is it's our program, and it's us, the people that make up MaxConscious. That first and foremost, it's the people that make up this company, what makes us unique. But what's really unique on top of that is the fact that we take century-old skills like breathing and meditation and self-talk and visualization, and we put our own language to it, but we marry music. And there is a lot of companies that use music and they use meditation music, but they're not approaching it the way that we are as far as training the unconscious mind. We are literally, like Graham said earlier in the show, we're taking these hooks, we're taking these sayings that will transform your life and change your life and get you in the present moment. But we're training the unconscious mind that if you hear that enough times with great music, that when you need to hear something about confidence, when you need to hear something about pressure or overcoming fear, we're training it with not only our language, but with our music that we made. So I haven't seen a company that has done it the way that we have done it and we approached it.
Wow. You know, I tell you, we're going to take a station break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the music. And we're going to talk about who make the music, how you guys go about choosing the music to go with certain training. Because I know both you guys are genius, and I can't wait to get back to hear that. So I tell you, you want to be part of the conversation, you still got time. StreamYard, authorize them to show your Facebook profile picture and just ask the two great guys any question you want to. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
I'm magic with the math. I breathe and be. I don't run to results, cause this I see. I'm potent in the present, it's where I be. Cause everything that counts, you cannot see. Think about this. How many times have you anxiously ran to results, worried about the math? Only at the end of your performance to discover that did not help you get great results. You ever go through that experience? I have. And I had to learn the counter to anxiously running to results, to being so concerned with math that you get paralyzed. The counter is magic. The counter is going in and being magic with the math. Completely letting go of all.
Really a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, You gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do. If you can see it here, you can do it. You might not be able to see it with the physical eyes, but if you can see it here, you can do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do it. You all are the future leaders of tomorrow. I am.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Wow. Welcome back to James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. Totally enjoying this conversation with these two brilliant guys. And we was talking about, going into the break, about the music. Grant was telling us about the training, what make them different than others, which I already know that they are. These two guys are fantastic. And if you ever want to learn anything or enhance your performance mentally, physically, emotionally, you need to reach out to these two guys. You need to reach out to them ASAP, immediately. So Grant, we was talking about the music. So love you guys' music and love the way you guys implement that in your training. Can you tell our listeners and our viewers how you go about choosing the music to coordinate with the particular training that you guys are teaching that day? Let's start with you, Grant.
Man, it's a really great question. And I think we were just talking about this today. There's this concept in musical therapy called entrainment. And entrainment is you meet someone where they are musically. Again, imagine a scene in a movie that's a tense scene, right? The music be tense. Maybe you hear the cellos playing. There's a tension building, and maybe they relieve that tension with going to a new kind of music, right? It changes to a softening music. So what we do is we try to help people get from one place to the next emotionally. We try to bring them, say they're like, I'm scared. I don't want to follow my heart. I don't want to be magic with the math. I'm all anxious. We kind of meet them there with that vibration. And then we work on taking them to another vibration and training them, right? Helping them shift that. So we're just getting into this a lot more. We always try to have a lot of feeling in our music and a lot of passion. And I think as we keep evolving, we're getting better and better at connecting with people's fears, connecting with where they are, and then helping them get it to another place. So that's newer for us, but we feel like we're always trying to evolve and advance. But we want to meet you where you are emotionally, connect with that. We can't just be like, it's always positive. Sometimes people are like, no, I'm scared. How do I go from there to another place? And we can help you by connecting in that emotional place and then working you through to another level.
Wow. Hey, Grant, what is the MC4 framework? So I know you all talking about that. What is that?
Well, I'm gonna have Graham, because Graham is a master at the MC4. But before he gets in here and shares it, it's basically our 4 guiding principles, our foundation of all of our lessons, all of our principles sit on these 4 principles. So and they can work in any situation in your life. So Graham, share with them what it's all about.
And I'll pick it up. And just to build on like what makes MaxConscious unique, I think one of the things that make us truly unique is we take these big, broad, advanced concepts and we make it into simple words, like really simple. That was always my goal, was if I could get this to a 14-year-old in 20 seconds in an intense moment, I could teach this to anyone. So our MC4, our foundational skills in our first program, our 30-day program, it's where we get deep. And the first skill is what's important now. It's literally just learn to focus on what you can control. So you start there, right? Then the second skill is play present. Once you realize, okay, I got to be in this moment, this is the place to be. Those are the first two. Then the third skill is what we call next play speed. And that means when you lose your focus and leave the present, can you bounce back? And can you bounce back fast? That means you have to be conscious because you're aware you've left the present and you're conscious enough to come back. And then our fourth skill is what we call palms down. This is choosing your response, and it's body language, it's poise, it's grace under pressure. We see this all the time, right? Something doesn't go someone's way. They go, oh, it's not my fault, I'm a victim. And they're losing all their power. So palms down says, wait, I'm in a tough moment, but I'm going to choose my response right now. And that's another big step in consciousness, that you're aware you can choose your response. So you might feel an emotion. You don't necessarily have to act on that. You can take a breath, say, let me choose my response, and let me operate from that level. So our MC4, those first 4 foundational skills is it. And I'm doing it every day. I mean, we do it every day. Every situation I'm in, I go, what's in my control? And that eliminates 99% of the stuff I'm thinking about and brings it down to some simple stuff. Then I say, be present. And right away, I'm in it, right? That's power right there. And if I lose my focus, hey, I'm bouncing back with next play speed. If I'm feeling this inside, I'm scared or vulnerable, hey, I'm choosing my response and I'm still going to show up. So our first MC4, it's basically how you don't stop yourself. And that's the start of doing this work, is if I don't stop myself, how can I be stopped? Because what most people realize is there's no one actually stopping you. And that's how you know it's all mental. You're like, if no one's stopping me, then it must be myself. So if I can learn to get out of my own way, now we're starting to crack the code of consciousness. We're opening up to this new level of energy. So the MC4 is where we start. And we work it every day, man. This is like breathing or drinking water. You got to do it all the time, right? So once you learn why would you ever focus on something out of your control? That doesn't make sense to us. Yeah, we may as well.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know, hey, Grant, I want to hear a little bit about your book, the Next Mindset Up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the next one up, mindset, how to prepare for the unknown. I wrote that about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And to be honest with you, being an athlete and also being a mental performance coach, I've always been fascinated on what people did to get prepared for the moment. You see, there's so many stories in the world of sports, even in the workplace, people that show up in the moment where their number's called unexpectedly, and they're prepared for that, all the pressure and all the meaning and all the things that can happen, but they thrive. And so I wrote a book that shows all these stories about people that were prepared and the things they did do to get prepared for the moment. And I also shed light on stories of people that weren't prepared for the moment, and maybe the things they didn't do. And within the book, I also throw in a lot of mental skills that supports how someone can get prepared for the unknown.
Wow. And Graham, you wrote a book. We're down about 3 minutes, but tell us a little bit about the book that you wrote. And also, do you guys got any upcoming books coming out?
Yes, so I wrote a book called Play Present. I put that out there in the world in 2015. It's a simple basketball mental skills training book. You'll recognize a lot of language. That's where I first started putting the language down. What's important now? Play present, next play speed. So that's out there. And then we just finished up a book called MaxConscious. And it is a 16-chapter book. Goes along with our 16-song album. And all of that right now you get through our MaxConscious program. So that's where we're releasing all this stuff right there within our company. And we put it all together for people to have this clean, easy to follow system. And we call it a language for leaders, right? Because once you know the language gives you a guide place out there to follow. So like Magic with the Math, everyone's talking math and you're like, oh no, I know Magic with the Math. I know what to do here. And that language gives you something to stick with. So yeah, we put it all together, and we just wrapped up another book.
Wow. So we're down to about 1 minute, but I know you guys got some takeaways. Can you guys come up with like 2 or 3 quick takeaways that our viewers should get from this great conversation that we just had? Let's start with you first, Graham.
I would say, you know what? Start training for the moment. I don't care how great you are. It's how great you are in the moment. And start getting present, getting conscious. And one way you can do that is check out maxconscious.com. Our program can help you with that to train for the moment.
Yeah.
And you, Graham?
Same thing. Focus on what you can control, right? Just start there. And one of the things you can control is you can train your mindset. You can work on this stuff. So do that. It was like the most empowering thing I ever did in my life. It changed my whole life when I took responsibility and started to do this training. So we want to invite you to Max Conscious to do this with us. We know you're that important. So starting with that responsibility is huge. And that's the start of your empowerment.
Real quickly, how can our viewers or anybody get in touch with you guys, talk to you a little bit more, or enhance and bring you guys in to speak?
You can find me at Grant Parr pretty much, or GFP Mindset, which is Game Face Performance. But GFP Mindset, you can find me on all the social media platforms.
And you, Graham?
GrahamBetchart.com is my website. And then social media wise, it's at Graham the Guide. I have a whole bunch of music on there. You can check it out. And then maxconscious.com is where you can find both me and Grant, where we're coaching, we're doing it. That's where our energy is at. So check it out.
Yeah.
You guys are so great, so fantastic. I got to invite you guys back on if you guys get some time.
We would love it.
Hey, I really appreciate this. And I want everybody I hope you guys got a whole lot from these 2 great guys. And I want everybody to always dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do. We'll be back tomorrow with a special major event. The James Cooley Show is live tomorrow at UFC Fit Gym, doing a live show there. So I see everybody tomorrow. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Man, you guys are fantastic, man.
Right on. Thanks for having us.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. I was Grant knew I've been trying to get you guys for a while now. So this was fantastic, and thanks for taking the time to come on the show, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for playing the music. That was the most fun we've ever had, having the music played around with what we're doing. That was awesome. That was a great experience.
Man, next time we got to get that video. We got to get it trimmed down to the right size. And I don't know what that is. I just know StreamYard is very particular about the size of the file. But this was fantastic even without it. And again, I just want to thank you guys for coming on the show again. And let me know when you guys get some time, because I would love to bring you guys back on.
Let's go. We'd love it. We'd love it.
All right. And also, a Grant, if we can get back in touch with Jake, I want to see what he's talking about with this mushroom form. He was funny. He was funny last time he was on the show. This mushroom, I want to see, So
I'll reach out to him.
All right. Hey, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you, James. Thank you, man.
Thanks, James. Appreciate it.